Okay, this video is just a quick review of project number 3. It's been a while since we've gone over this. Again, this is just an optional video if you want to watch it. Project 3 is going to be a poster project, and it's going to advertise a fictional athlete. Your job is to create a photo manipulation poster that features or promotes a fictional athlete. As always, you do need to start with your process book and develop your ideas. Make sure that when you're doing the research part of the process book, that you are doing research on event posters or sports posters, that sort of thing. In our previous lecture, I did give you some examples that I found. Make sure that you're incorporating those into your process book. Pay attention to how the designer has used the type, the way they've manipulated the photos to inspire you for this project. The criteria for the project, it does need to be done in Photoshop because it is a photo composition, no Illustrator. Make sure that you are using only copyright-free imagery. I do have a photo library with resources for you. I'll go over that in a little bit. You need to combine imagery. You need to use text to both communicate the subject and information details to a wide range audience. You need to set up your Photoshop document as 10 by 14 inches in portrait mode. Make sure that the resolution is 300 and the color mode is CMYK. In the Photoshop opening document window, if you're picking print from that window, by default you will be in CMYK. So make sure that you're doing that. When you're designing the posters, consider all the design principles we have discussed, such as emphasis, contrast, flow, hierarchy. Hierarchy especially for the text. You do need to use all the below text, which we'll go over in a minute. You get to decide the best order, what the hierarchy of that text should be. What do you want to stand out? What do you want your audience to see first? Again, you need to seamlessly combine at least 3 high-quality images. You certainly could do more than 3, but you are required to use at least 3. Don't randomly download any images from the web. Make sure that they're copyright-free only. Again, that's really important. You certainly can take your own images if you have a camera and you want to do so. You can use the photo library. I have a lot of great image resources in that page. The background and all the text needs to be created in Photoshop. You are limited to only 2 typefaces. Make sure that you're picking a typeface that has a lot of styles, such as bold, italic. All the styles that are associated with a typeface, they're going to be very harmonious with each other. You do need to include at least 1 Photoshop effect in your poster, such as drop shadow. Certainly there are more than that, but that's just one that comes to the top of my mind. You need to include 1 Photoshop blending mode. We've covered blending modes. You do need to print the document on tabloid, very similar to the first project, and you need to trim it down to 10 by 14. You are, however, no longer to mount your project on the presentation board. Because of what we're going through right now, it's no longer a requirement. On your poster, you need to include the following text: an athlete's name. That's totally up to you what name you want to use. Make sure it's a fictional name. Team name. Again, you get to decide. You need to have the text, player of the week. You need to include a short motivational sports quote. You decide what that's going to be. And include the team's website. The critique for this semester, because of what we're going through with the virus, we are going to conduct the critiques on the Canvas discussion board. I'll create a short video as to how we're going to go about doing that, but that's going to be the plan for the critique. Again, you don't need to worry about the final presentation on the board, but you do need to trim the final project to 10 by 14. The final submission, you do need to submit your final printed project that has been trimmed to 10 by 14. You also need to submit your final Photoshop file. That is the file that has all your layers in it. And of course your process book through Canvas. Make sure that you're saving the project with your last name, first name, project 3. Also, you need to rasterize all your type layers. Reason being is you may pick a font that I don't have and it's not going to show up for me the way you've designed it. You need to rasterize those layers so they're no longer reliant on a font, but rather it just becomes another one of your images. How to do that? You need to go into the type menu. First you need to select your type menu. Let me say that again. You need to select the layer that has your type. Then you need to go to the type menu, rasterize type, layer, rasterize type. Again, you're no longer required to do the final presentation as far as presenting your work on the black presentation board. Again, we're just not going to require that this particular project. All right, that's it.